You know, after 8 years, Arundel County Police finally linked DNA from an Odenton cold case to a person they say shot and killed a 24-year-old man.
This is something. WMAR 2 News' Skylar Henry has been covering this Maryland mystery story for months now, and he was at today's announcement.
Yeah, Jamie, detectives tell me that tiny piece of DNA went a long way to bringing this chapter of this case to an end. Now police say they're positive they have their man after 8 years of wondering who killed Michael Temple Jr.
For nearly a decade, police in Anne Arundel County were stumped by a fatal shooting that left more than a fair share of evidence, but no killer. Until today.
If it was not for the tenacity of our cold case homicide detectives and their knowledge of what technology is available to them for closing cases, this case may not have been solved.
The case of Michael Temple Jr., the 24-year-old shot inside this house during a home invasion in 2010, who died 5 years later. Police say it was an old co-worker, 32-year-old Fred Frampton, who pulled the trigger.
Our detectives went on covert surveillance, found Mr. Frampton, surreptitiously took multiple DNA samples from him. Those DNA samples were given to our DNA lab, who matched them with the DNA that was left on the scene of the shooting.
Detectives collected drops of blood left behind from that crime scene and took it here, to Reston, Virginia, to Parabon Nanolabs, a DNA tech company that excels at helping solve decade-long cold cases.
Our potential, obviously, for solving crimes is increasing because of the possibility of this new technology that Parabon offers.
Sergeant Robert Price says Parabon's help has been a breakthrough for the department and its cold case unit. Parabon was able to take the DNA, create a 3D rendering based on their snapshot system, and then allow a digital sketch artist to create the final results, a spitting image of Frampton from one of the few clues he left behind.
Any type of forensic breakthroughs that we get are hugely helpful to us. This is obviously extremely helpful for us and has helped us in other cases, and we hope to in the future.
Now, there was another suspect in this case, Jonathan Ludwig. He died earlier this year. Frampton was denied bail at a review this morning. Kelly, Jamie, when you think about all that went into this case, from the finding of the DNA, sending it to that lab in Virginia, and then quickly getting these results, really, and ultimately getting enough evidence to arresting someone in this case, it makes you think, all right, this may be the future of how you solve these cold cases.
And all these years later.
And all these years later, it's one thing. I was talking to Michael's dad earlier this morning, and obviously emotional. You know, this is one chapter that's closed, but still knowing that it took this long to get some sort of closure with all of this is still hitting him pretty tough.
What about other families out there that you've been working on?
Yeah.
Man, are they calling this company right now doing something?
So it's funny you say that. So Anne Arundel County, they are revamping all of their cold cases, and they're saying that if there is enough DNA evidence that they can send down to Parabon, they're doing it. They're not wasting any time with any of them, or they're not picking any particular cases or specific cases. They're saying if they have enough DNA, they're going to send it to Parabon and hope that they come with results similar to today.
Any other local departments using them?
Down in Prince George's County, I know that they've used it before. I think Baltimore County may be considering it as well, but Anne Arundel County is probably the leader as far as in our viewing area that's using this technology.
And that's why we keep telling these stories, Maryland mystery.
Absolutely.
I mean, something's going to happen
One
sometime,
little shred
right?
of evidence,
Yeah. Yes,
you know, can
it's a
bring
little
these
bit.
people some
That's it.
closure.
Yeah, and in that case, it was blood, hair follicles, all that good stuff. So.
All right, great work, Skylar.
Thanks.
Go, Skylar.